Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Devil's Night Soiree. Do you really want to take my hand, whisk you off to a far-off land? Buckle up, strap on tight. Welcome to Devil's Night. This tawdry little affair will have one night if you dare. Buckle up, strap on tight. Welcome to Devil's Night. The ghoul at the bar, he doesn't like to talk. The brain in the jar, beware, he'll chat your head off. Okay, well, I was saying before, like, the kind of music I listen to, it's not so, it's kind of similar to you guys. What I really like to listen to is like to listen to classic hits. I like to listen to things like Brown Eyed Girl and Mustang Sally, and those are the ones sometimes I like to listen to Piano Man. We're polite as can be, for our guests a necessity. Buckle up, strap on tight. Welcome to Devil's Night. The bat in the wall, beware, he likes to bite. The crystal ball, avoid it if you want to keep your sight. Do you really want to take my hand, whisk you off to a far-off land? Buckle up, strap on tight. Welcome to Devil's Night. Welcome to Bienvenue. Welcome to you. I am spinning round and round, talking to my ghost. The funny ones, a delight to see. Tormented haunts me most, and life's an impassable river. Rudderless, I float. I am searching compassless in this maze with no way out. The hedges are too dangerous to climb, I'm full of doubt. Well, this labyrinth is not my friend, it taunts me with no end. So I've stopped searching for the way, built a garden to tend. But this garden only grows weeds, the brambles overtake, and I've abandoned my daydreams for sanity's sake. Delight to see, tormented haunts me most. Hello, my beautiful friends. I would like to formally welcome you to the Devil's Night Soiree. This is our very first ever Friday night live stream. I'm here with my wonderful friend, my Jedi mind master guru, Mr. Sir Ray Dillard.
Greetings.
I just looked back at the first time and saw what he's doing, and it's fabulous. And in front, we are in Fairbury, Ontario. And if you don't know Barrie, Ontario, well, we live by a lake. And there are lots of beautiful natural things around the lake. But sometimes people want to build on the lake, and then there's protests, and it's good. So far, we have kept most of our lake, most of it in Fairbury is protected. Most of it.
Not all of it.
Not all of it.
But most of it.
Most of it. We're very lucky. And another thing about Barrie is there's a lot of trucks. A lot of trucks in Barrie.
I've noticed that.
Do you have a truck?
No.
My husband, Bryn.
A long time ago, I had a truck.
You did,
I'm going to admit that.
Yeah, that's okay.
I like trucks.
Yeah, my mom has a truck.
I'm from Texas.
Right. Yeah, that's one of the rules. Once you move there, you got to have a truck.
Got to have a truck. At least one.
At least one.
Maybe 2 or 3 would be better, but at least one.
Now, speaking of Texas and being from Texas, now all of a sudden I began getting a little bit of a drawl. Did you hear that? All of a sudden,
I don't know what you're talking about.
I saw that you were in the local paper recently. And
I wasn't so much in the paper, but a story that I contributed to was.
It was great. It was great.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I was very proud to read what you had to say.
It was great. It was a nice article. The only thing is I went from having grandchildren to great-grandchildren, which I found very interesting.
Oh, Barrie today.
But yes, it was. It was nice to say my piece about that.
Yeah. Now, I have a song for you, and I want to tell you that it's dedicated to the people that like to collect recipes in the world. The Munchausen Moms are never late to the party. They come bearing gifts made from scratch. They won't share the grief unless you ask. With sorrowful eyes, they'll take on the task. And don't you know, there's a secret society concocting recipes to confound autopsies. The Munchausen Moms are Pinterest thieves, hoarding ideas stuffed up their sleeves. They don't karaoke, don't smoke, don't drink. With Munchausen Moms, there's barely a blink. Yet they write operas in their mind with tragic heroines who serve the divine. The Munchausen Moms are never late to the party. Never late to the party. Never late to the party. go down to the woods today. You better prepare your eyes. It's lovely down in the woods today, but be prepared for a surprise. 'Cause everyone there ever there was will gather there for certain, because today's the day the Munchausen Moms have their picnic. Oh, what a lovely piece of arsenic. One of my favorite holidays. One of my favorite holidays around is this one right now, this Halloween holiday. Other people like Christmas. If you can dress up in costumes at Christmas as well, as you know, I like seeing the family and everything, but there's something about Halloween and dressing up and things that you wouldn't normally wear to work at your office job. Today you could be the human cannonball while you're photocopying. Or you can be a Wonder Woman. I love being Wonder Woman. One year I was Wonder Woman and my little daughter was Supergirl. Hey Ray, do you have a favorite costume you've ever worn? This is pretty good right here. Dare I disturb the universe? Fly where I don't want to go. Cause the sun's mighty bright over there, and I fear those shadows. 'Cause I've run with the wolves. Ooh. Ignored my silken wings. Ooh. Excited by the pack, I gave up everything. Cause I've run with wolves. Ignored my silken wings. Excited by the pack, I gave up everything. Dare I disturb the universe? Ooh. Fly where I don't want to go. Cause the sun's mighty bright over there, and I fear my shadow. used to have a university professor, American literature, 1800 to present, and he was really into the idea. We're talking about Henry Miller, and he was talking about Dionysus and his connection with Henry Miller. And do you know who Dionysus is?
I never met her.
Could be fluid, it could be her, maybe usually a him, but
No, it's a him.
it's a him.
Yeah, I'm just kidding.
Got a party. My Dionysian days are done, I've kicked them to the curb. What once brought me such joy now feels absurd. But I miss the late night revelry, the howling at the moon. But I give it all away to spend some time with you. I wake up at the time where I used to go to sleep. Quiet down the stairs, do as I please. Percolate the thoughts, stretch out all the kinks, and wonder what you're dreaming of. Will you share it when you wake? 'Cause my Dionysian days are done, I've kicked them to the curb. What once brought me such joy now feels absurd. But I miss the late night revelry, the howling at the moon. But I give it all away to spend some time with you. Yes, I give it all away. On the edge of town, where the moss grows black and the children go to work, beneath the looming smokestack lived a tinkering man who tinkered all day, tinkering his life away. But what is he doing? What is it for? Is he prepping for another potential war? The reign of terror has had its day. Is he tinkering his life away? Upon entering his home, you might not be shocked. He's hoarded the leftovers of neighbors' casts off. Baubles, spools, springs and wire, so focused he never seems to tire. But what is he doing? You may ask with a start. He's creating. He's creating. He's creating a mechanical heart. After years of toil, one day he gets the right as it whirs and spins neath the candlelight. Hastily he goes into a space hidden from eyes, neath the refuse, the waste. But what isn't there is he trying to hide? Secrets away from prying eyes. And lo and behold, in this small room lies a motionless form, someone entombed. He quickly gets to work and with gleeful delight crows, "When you wake, you'll be my servant wife." As the mechanical eyes, they start to move, she rises from the dead and starts to swoon. He tries to steady her, and with a breathless start, see she stabbed him. She stabbed him. She stabbed him in his very mortal heart. On the edge of town where the moss grows black and the children go to work neath the looming smokestack, lived a tinkering man who tinkered all day, tinkering his life away, 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 away. I'm finally free. I'm finally free. And it's just you and me and my friends here. We're all hanging out together, eating maybe some chips. Are we? Some of you eating chips? Maybe deep fried pickles? That's my secret. My secret. And my secret. You don't have it? Later.
I got no chips.
Yeah, okay, later. I'll hook you up. Can you imagine if we ate chips and played this show at the same time?
I can imagine it.
So I have to tell you something. Every week we do a thing called Magic in My Hood, and not every week, most weeks. And we have friends that have made short films. And if you're one of my friends and you've made a short film, it could be a music video, it could be like a short little feature, it could be a documentary, anything that's 5 minutes or under. Bring it to go knock on my email or my messenger or whatever, my Instagram, and tell me about it. And I'd love to share what you're doing with the world. So this week, we have the creepiest film we've shown. It's called Creeper. Now, I want to give you a little bit of a warning about this. It seems quite dark, and can be a bit triggering. It does have a switch. I don't want to spoil it, but there's a bit of a switch. But it's 5.5 minutes long, and if you don't want to see anything that's kind of slightly a little bit, it's pretty disturbing until there's a switch. 5.5 minutes, and come back in 5.5 minutes. Does that make sense?
Sure, it makes sense.
Yeah, it's a great.
5.5 minutes is the safe zone.
Yeah,
back. We've got some more great music.
Yeah, but if you want to check out this is I saw this and I was like, oh, this is perfect for Devil's Night. It was produced by my sister's partner, Jordan McTavish, and it's called Creeper. Enjoy. SymmetryFilms.
You made it. That's great. Did you come alone?
Yeah, and I made sure I didn't tell anyone.
Perfect. Come on. Are you excited?
Yeah.
We're gonna have some fun tonight.
Why are you filming me?
To capture the memories. Do you have any last words? Right this way.
Why is it so dark in here?
It's a surprise. You don't have much time.
Where is everyone?
You. Best party ever. Tammy, this is amazing.
Were you surprised?
Happy birthday, sweetie.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back. Now, did you get scared? The first time I saw that, I was like, this is horrifying. And then I was like, oh, okay. And if you missed the show, missed the film, hi, welcome back again to you as well. I hope you all enjoyed that. Now, on after the film, we usually do this thing called Phone a Friend. And today we're going to phone a dear friend that's known me since I was very young, before I was born. One moment. Let me just dial their number. I know. He's a magic man. Hold on. Okay. Let me just, hey, so kids, this is how you use a rotary phone. I hear there's some kids. Whoa! There's some kids on here. And so you put your finger in the hole and you just go to that little part that part right there. See, like, this is long distance, so it's going to be quite a few numbers. I wrote it on the back of my hand. As you can tell, I'm looking at my hand right now. And, okay, one second.
Grief, how many numbers are there?
Oh, it's very long. Okay, ring, 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 ring. Ring, 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 ring. Ring, 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 ring. Hello? Hello? Oh, ring, ring. I love this. Hello?
How you doing?
Hey, is this Gary Taylor?
Hey, how come I'm hearing? Oh,
Pardon?
yeah, I've been hearing a really bad accent.
You're hearing it really echoey?
Yeah.
Don't watch the live stream.
Oh, yeah. If you're on the live stream, turn it off.
Okay.
Just ignore. Yeah, go off the live stream. Welcome to the Devil's Night Soiree. Gary Taylor, it's an honor to hear you on the phone. I'm here with my friend Ray.
Hey, Gary.
Are you guys hearing this too?
What's that?
This echo?
No.
How come I'm hearing it?
Bryn,
what's going
turn
on?
down the
It's like a really
reverb.
bad echo.
Oh, no. Okay, well, then you tell us a story.
As soon as you start talking, it just turns into a big blurb, you know? I can't figure this out.
Okay, so I want to know what you're up to right now.
Can you do, here, try this. Try calling me back on my home line.
Okay, just one. So I think our technical director, Mr. Bryn, he's figuring it out right now.
See, I'm not understanding what you're saying.
Check 1, 2. How's that? Better?
Yes. What would you do?
Bryn
Our technical director, Mr. Bryn Epp.
He worked as a unicorn
fixed
motor.
Okay, good. Yeah, it's gone now.
Very good.
Hi, Gary Taylor.
Thank God.
So tell
I
me.
thought, holy shit, this is going to be a long interview.
A long interview.
Yeah. Hello? No, there really was about 5 echoes going on after everything you were saying.
Yeah. Okay. I need to ask you some questions now. It's important. This is Phone a Friend is a very important part of our show. And I need you you to tell me, where are you right now?
I'm in my office/studio.
Uh-huh.
Oh, and what are you looking at?
Actually, I was going through some of my photo stuff. I have thousands and thousands of photos in here, and every once in a while I try and make sense of them all, put them in some kind of order, and then I give up, of course.
Right. Well,
but that's all I was doing.
Oh, there's a picture of Stella right now up on the screen for at Halloween.
Yeah, I sent you some pictures. I thought would be appropriate for the time.
I can't see them. Bryn is loving it.
Nice. I can't see them either, but I will in the replay.
Gary's a fantastic photographer.
I collaged a few people together, and Stella's in there.
Amazing. Now, okay, so you're in your studio, and we're talking about things like devilish things, and I thought Gary Taylor would be a good person to call. You know?
I wonder why.
Remember the song we wrote? Living inside an elephant's ass, living inside an elephant's ass, living inside an elephant's ass, all the way to hell. Oh, there's actually children watching.
Yeah. And there was many verses too.
I can imagine.
There were lots of verses.
Yeah, I had to keep the kids entertained, right? How old were you when that happened?
You twisted that in our minds around probably 8. That's when we really, we really dug in. Probably 8, 9. Around that era, pre double digits.
Yeah, pretty young though.
Yeah.
But you were in there with harmonies immediately.
Yeah. I probably loved the words and Willow sang the harmonies. So are you dressing up for Halloween?
You know what? I haven't even really thought about Halloween. It's kind of I've been trying to get into the Halloween spirit, but it just doesn't seem to be happening this year.
It's a weird time for everyone. Now,
it is. There's 1 or 2 houses in my whole neighborhood where they actually put some spooky stuff on the lawn or whatever. And the rest of them, I think people are just going to turn the lights out.
Yeah.
It's kind of a shame because I don't know. Well, growing up, Halloween was the heaviest holiday.
Yeah, it's a big one.
It's
It's a big one.
It's a big one, but it's
You used to
interesting.
dress like I used to dress up as a werewolf and hop fences all the way down the street.
That was
Like
last
some
week,
kind of
right,
I
Gary?
actually became like an animal. I really got into it when I was a kid.
Yeah, totally. Now, like you've been writing a lot recently, right? You've been writing, playing guitar, and because Gary also is a musician, he's a wonderful musician, plays with a lot of different groups, and that's how I know him through my playing with my father.
Yeah.
And you and Diane, and
I played with your dad before you were born. That's how far back we go. I mean, I was around for Willow being born too.
That's wild. It's wild.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
Couple years.
well, how old's Willow now?
You know.
Should we say this over the air?
I think we'll leave it to the
We
ether.
can lie.
The
We could
mystery.
lie.
You must be around 59 by now, right?
Oh, she's like 25. 25. So, Gary, I have. Do you have any questions for Gary? You guys should meet each other one day.
I'm good. I've enjoyed listeing to the conversation.
Ray and Gary, you need to meet each other
Yeah,
one day.
we need to meet.
Yeah, I think it would be fantastic.
Absolutely.
But I have to go now. You want to know why? Because I got a show to do, and I want to know. Do you have a request? Any request for us to play for you?
Yeah, like a song.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Hello.
Hey, yeah.
Do you have any request that you'd like to hear?
Well, I was looking at this Last Tango in Barry.
Ooh.
Hey!
I thought that I love the title
Yeah.
Yeah.
because Last Tango in Paris is one of my favorite movies.
I
of
could
all
see
time.
that. Wonderful.
This is very similar, but in a completely different way.
But pretend it's Barry instead of Paris.
Paris.
Yeah, very similar in a completely different
Last
way.
Tango in Paris.
Yes, and if you're a young child and you're going to be hearing this song for the first time, it's about cats. Okay, everyone. Gary, I love you. We'll talk soon.
Take
Okay,
care, Gary.
bye.
Okay, that was fun, guys. See ya.
All right. It's last tango time. Hold on. Well, I know you're lonely. I'm lonely too. I can see it in your eyes. They wear your wounds. I saw you from across the bar, sensed you were lost. I had to come and check you out, regardless of the cost. Let's play together like cats in heat. We'll bite, scratch, growl, and when it's done and all is complete, we'll throw in the towel. 'Cause I know you're lonely. I'm lonely too. And although it'll be for just one night, let's see what we can do. Well, I know you're lonely. I'm lonely too. I can see it in your eyes. They wear your wounds. Well, I know you're lonely. I know you're lonely. I know you're lonely.
You know, November 1st and 2nd are very important holidays south of the U.S. border into Mexico. And as a tribute to that holiday, sometimes referred to in English as Day of the Dead, I offer the following. Cada primero y dos de noviembre, unos ricos tamales y mi comida. Para festejar a los difuntos, mi madrecita no lo hacía. A veces hasta diciembre. Nos tenemos que esperar para unos ricos tamales en el año nuevo, Señor. Ya no vivo en mi región. Ahora vivo en Tennessee, pero me trae las costumbres de mi San Luis Potosí. No espero una ocasión especial para tamales poder preparar. Los preparo muy seguido para que mi familia pueda quedar, porque desde pequeña aprende que son un verdadero manjar. Que pasen buenas noches. Los dejo para acompañar a mi querida familia, que ya es hora del Señor. Loose translation, tamales were made only for this holiday. I live in Tennessee. I make them anytime I damn well want.
I've done monstrous things, torn the wings off those I've loved. No amount of glue or tape could mend these mistakes. Oh, I'd like to build a time machine that bobs around gracefully, bending time, mending minds, bending hearts, must unwind. But I fear it's too late. No inventor, I'm a fake. Yes, I fear it's too late. No inventor, I'm a fake. But perhaps if I write you a song, one day you'll sing along. Perhaps if I write you this song, one day you'll sing along. Another heart turned to stone. I can't help who I am. Restless, alone. I can't help what I am. Wasn't always this way. Wasn't always this way. Always this way. Admirers come and they go, with time and with age. Cruel hearts, fickle souls, years lift the facade. It was always this way, always this way, always this way. It's better to be feared than not thought of at all. It's better to be feared than not thought of at all. It's better to be feared than not thought of at all. And maybe she gave me a gift. This curse, this punishment. Yes, maybe she gave me a gift. Another turned to stone. I can't help who I am. Another turned to stone. I can't help what I am. It was always this way. It was always this way. Always this way. My first baby was a building, but I'd forget to wash its face. Found a mushroom on the carpet. It forgave my youthful state. Well, this baby almost killed me accidentally. Maybe self-inflicted. Maybe babies aren't for me. 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 My last baby was a birdie with a saddle on her back. She flew me over mountains, took me places not on maps. Well, one day I lost my balance, almost stumbled to my feet. That was the end of me and Birdie. day. But maybe babies aren't for me. 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 Well, my last baby was a tombstone I wore around my neck, but it got awful heavy. I had to stop and rest. Now this baby sits proudly on top of me. We are one, me and my baby. Hush now, baby, you and me. Hush now, baby, you and me. Hush now, baby, you and me. Hush now, baby, we are free. Now the moral of the story, if you haven't learned yet. Sometimes a baby isn't what you quite expect. Now I loved all my babies equally. We are one, me and my babies. We have one more song for you. And this song is something that is very serious. It's a learning song. And I feel like it's got a moral that everyone can respect. It's my good luck day, my day, come what may. After such a sleepless night, the sun shines so bright. It's my good luck day, my day, come what may. And don't forget to bring over Mama's diamond ring, 'cause then it'll be our good luck day, our day, come what may. Where the ground that we walk over is full of four-leaf clovers. But maybe one day, someday soon, my luck will run out. I'll have a day of gloom, a day made up of scabies and bad hair, of PMS, ringworm, and despair, where accidentally I'll step on a crack and unintentionally break Mama's back. Oh, that poor Mama. She did nothing wrong. Maybe babies weren't for her. Maybe. Poor Mama. But till then, it's my good luck day, my day, come what may. After such a sleepless night, the sun shines so bright. So if you may desire hard to play with the likes of me. Just think how lucky you could be. Ray Dillard, Elvis Epp, Bryn Epp. My name is Cassandra Rutherford. That was a whole whack of fun for me.
Thanks for joining us tonight.
Thank you so much. Next week, we're back on the Sunday Social. Not this Sunday, but next Sunday. And I might be playing it alone. I'm not sure. This is a special day because it's my daughter's birthday. And she's turning 10. And she was like, Mommy, if you're going to do your show, can I do, it's an all request 10-year-old daughter birthday show. So I might be playing some songs I would normally never play. Like, I think so far I have requests for lots of pop tunes. And I might be going alone on this one. You never know what's going to happen in the Sunday Social. This was a whole whack load of fun. I love you. I hope you're having a great weekend. Thanks for all of you that watched. Hello, Bianca and your family. So nice that you came by and said hi. And Gary Taylor, thank you very much. And Jordan McTavish, thanks for letting us show your film. It was fantastic. Have a great evening. Good night.
Bye-bye.